So Sydney Colson is a member of the Indiana Fever now. Like, I think this was the most shocking. This was maybe the most shocking addition. Like, even though she didn't fit, I still think if you were going to take a minimum point guard, I think worth ending up taking Erica Wheeler again, just because of Erica Wheeler's veteran leadership. But obviously, look, Sydney Colson was brought in. And it's funny, like, when Sydney Colson was brought in, just some of the things she had said, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, she would be bad for the locker room. But it's like, she is literally known as a locker room player. Like, that is what Sydney Colson is known for. Like, it's not like Sydney Colson is known for being a starting caliber player or was at any stage in her career. Like, Sydney Colson was known as being a locker room player, and as well as that, somebody who could legitimately go and, whether she played 1 minute or 30 minutes, would play with the same effort and intensity, which is exactly what a team needs for a player that literally might have to, like, I genuinely think there's going to be a lot of DNPs. There's going to be a lot of DNPs for her, and like, she's going to be fine with that. Just like she'll be fine when there might be a game when Kelsey Mitchell, let's say Hull's injured and Mitchell just gets hurt in the game. There might be a situation where she has to kind of play the 1-2. Either way, though, she's now been in Indiana. She has done everything. She has done the whole everything, basically. So Sydney Colson has had her first workout with Indiana. She's gone and had her first workout with the team. Her jump shot is so, like, when you see her, she's a really good shooter, but her jump shot is just strange when you look at her putting it up. And she obviously is there joining the Pacers halftime show at the Pacers game courtside. Like, that's just like a rite of passage. And obviously this is what Kelly Krauskopf or Amber Cox had to say. Sorry,
she's going to be able to lead our team, and obviously, you know, great personality as well, brings a lot of fun and levity to the locker room. Again, that experience, knows when we need which side, right? Like the serious, the tough veteran leadership versus the, you know, fun, playful Sid. So I think she's going to bring a lot of joy to all of our lives this season.
So yeah, it's one of those things, like, again, how people have talked, a lot of the time have talked up Sydney Colson. And to be fair, like, she's literally known as a locker room player, which is genuinely important. That is really, really important for this locker room, especially because of how important the the locker room has been. How important Erica Wheeler was for that team last year, it seemed like, off the court. And someone like Sydney Colson, I think, could help a lot. And let's listen to what she said in her interview.
For you in free agency?
A lot of things. It was Amber and Kelly, Stephanie, Kelsey I played with at Athletes Unlimited for several years. Love Caitlin's game, love Aaliyah's game. It made sense. I made this decision mentally before DB and Natasha were even a part of the mix. And so all the new additions, Breezy, Sophie, like, it's gonna be a fun season. And I won here in my senior year at Texas A&M. We played in Conseco. When it was Conseco, we won here, so it just felt like divine timing to come back.
You said they helped win you over, but you've been around the league.
Yeah.
So you've had a
Hold on now, I don't like how you said that. Like, I'm just
well, you've had the experience.
Yeah.
Where you have been able to pick places too.
Yeah.
And I'm so.
And that's the maddest thing with her being, like, or basically being able to, again, pick wherever she wants to go. And obviously this is something, I think this is in a different interview, but this is obviously her talking about the fan base, talking about Caitlin Clark. So rather than just listen to the whole thing, let's listen to some things aggregated by Ken Swift, a guy who normally does pick out some good things you want to hear.
Been in your impressions of the people and the facilities that now will be home?
I'm super excited about it. I'm going from a team that was a very in the media, like, people are excited to watch us, into another team that is arguably the most talked about team in sports right now, especially in women's sports. So this fan base, it's exciting to be a part of a team that has a lot of positive energy around it. You know, I hear and see the things that people say, but I know the true Indiana Fever fans, the ones that love basketball, that they love the WNBA. I'm excited to be playing in front of them and just with this team.
I genuinely think, regardless of what happens on Twitter, like I would say, I have a weird feeling when it comes to Colson that it's going to be one of those things where she is going to be a fan favorite, but there is going to be a couple of people that are, there's going to be a couple of people that are Twitter trolls, and it's going to make it seem like it's going to be it's a bigger deal than it is, and hopefully, I think she's old enough to know that the best thing is, like, if everything in person's great and Twitter trolls are Twitter trolls, like, because to be fair, you could argue at times Sid Colson's a Twitter troll herself.
What was it like to watch what Caitlin did for this franchise from afar? Different perspective.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you're seeing a team that's now, like, affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country, maybe even to see games, and so that's special.
You've been studying.
Huh?
You've been studying those studies.
Yeah, man, I try to pay attention, but no, it's been cool to see. Caitlin's a remarkable player. She's going to be good here for a long time, so I know people are excited about it.
And yeah, to be fair, like, one of the things was as well that we basically heard from inside that Caitlin Clark really pushed for Sydney Colson to be her backup. And to be fair, like, I think, look, there's no way you can see what Sydney Colson's done for her locker room. And to be honest, I'd say Kate Martin is on the phone to Caitlin being like, yeah, she is the perfect backup player, great locker room leader. Like, as Amber Cox was talking about her being a leader, I would say Kate Martin gave her the there's no way Caitlin Clark didn't call Kate Martin to ask about Colson. And as far as minimum contract point guards or thereabouts minimum contract, probably is going to be probably genuinely is the best option for what the Fever need anyway.
Be part of all these sellouts and being the biggest show on wherever you go now.
I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be remarkable. And what I always thought about when I was on a team that wasn't getting that kind of visibility, whenever you go play the teams that are, that's when you bring your best game. Because now it's all eyes on your team too, and people, hopefully will be tuning into our games and seeing players from other teams that they like, that are exciting, because there are a lot of good players around this league. So I think what we're going to be able to do, what the Aces, the New Yorks, what we're able to do is elevate the game and get people to respect our entire league, not just a few teams.
And that's, again, like, why? Just put her on First Take and say that. Genuinely, if that was the answer that was given on First Take, instead of Nafisa Collier saying that it was crazy that the Liberty didn't have more games than the Fever, and then almost backtracking and saying, the Fever still shouldn't have less games, but I mean, the Liberty still should have more. Not saying, the Fever should have less, even though I actually don't think, I genuinely believe that, one, the argument was in good faith from Nafisa Collier. Nafisa Collier actually does want to grow the game, but I just think it was a dumb argument to make. That is a much better argument to make. It's literally the argument that I made in my video. I didn't even see this when I made that argument in the Fee video, where it's like, for these other players, the other teams should want to beat them. The other team should genuinely want to go out there and do whatever the hell they can to beat the Fever. When the Fever have those 41 games on national TV, those sellout crowds, teams should want to, if you're a team, if you're like, not even the Atlanta Dream, if you are, let's just say you're the Wings who are playing a 20,000 seater stadium instead of 7,000, if you are the Wings, you should want to hoop. You should want to ball out, because all those, bandwagon Caitlin Clark fans that are showing up to your game because you're in a big arena, ball out in front of them, because they're all locals. There's a good chance that they, come back. And if they come back and you're selling out every single game, who knows? Maybe you'll be playing the whole season in the American Airlines Center. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.